Hey everybody, welcome back. Tonight we have a taste of manga, and it's a very special taste of manga because this is my very first ever Patreon recommendation. Um, if you're wondering, I do have a Patreon. I'm going to link it down below, and one of the perks of some of the tiers is that you can recommend me every month one anime to review and one manga to talk about in a taste of manga. Now, obviously, if I were to ever get more popular, and I probably wouldn't be able to do 50 manga every month, so I would have to adjust that. But for now, I'm so unpopular that I can actually, listen to my fans and hopefully make them happy. And tonight, thank you to Nia-chan for her kind donation and her recommendation of the manga called Yotsuba. Now, Yotsuba, if you've never heard of it, is by Kiyohiko Azuma, who is the same mangaka as Azumanga Daioh, and it's actually like his or her last name, uh, Azuma, which led me to kind of put two and two together. And also, I've never seen Azuma, like I've never read or watched the anime for Azumanga Daioh, but like I've seen what the artwork looks like, and this is like very very similar like character designs and stuff like that. So it helped put two and two together. However, this is a different work. It is largely a comedy series, a little slice of lifey about this little cute girl named Yotsuba, and she addresses herself in the third person. She calls herself Yotsuba, which I am assuming is a kind of something they're trying to do with like the translation of like I guess that's how like young Japanese girls would talk or children would talk, and it comes off kind of cute. She refers to herself as Yotsuba all the time. Yotsuba, I can't think. I'm trying to think of like an example. Yotsuba doesn't understand. Yotsuba is hungry, kind of like that. And obviously, she's a tad cuter than me. But yeah, she's just like probably 4 or 5 year old girl. I don't remember if they actually say her age. And her dad, there's no mom in the picture at this point, are moving to a new house, seemingly in like a city. And they apparently used to live in like the sticks, like the country, because Yotsuba, even though she's really young, she is especially naive about the world around her. She does not know, and somewhat ignorant about a lot of stuff because she doesn't know what an air conditioner is. She doesn't really comprehend doorbells. Like she doesn't. There's a whole lot of stuff that she just like doesn't really get because I think she's lived her whole life in this like country setting with just her and her dad. Like her world was very very small, and it's getting larger rather quickly, and she kind of has to adjust for that. And she's a cute, happy girl. It's one thing her dad really loves about her is like nothing ever gets her down. Like she's always in a happy mood or like a scared mood because she's easily frightened by stuff that she doesn't understand, but then she just sort of either runs away or gets distracted. Like she gets a lot of benefit from her own short attention span because anything that really like bothers her, she'll just find something that interests her or makes her feel better. And she's a really really cute character. Um, for me, this isn't the kind of thing I think I would read like forever. I don't think I'm going to check out this entire thing. It's definitely not something that I would buy. Maybe I would read it online because it seems like I don't know how much of an overarching story there's really going to be because basically it's just the dad and Yotsuba move to this new house and they have the only other characters are he has like a big ass friend that they nicknamed Jumbo and he's really really tall and there's a lot of like comedy about him being so big. Which was kind of funny. But I could see if they keep doing that, it would get like a little old. And they have these neighbors. They have three neighbor girls who are one is like really young, kind of like Yotsuba's age. The other one is like 16-ish, and she gets like the most screen time or most attention. And then there's an older one, maybe like 18 or 20-ish, who's hot by the way. I'm a big fan of the oldest one. She got this really long hair, and she's really pretty. But most of the screen time goes to the 16-year-old sister, and they interact with Yotsuba and the dad a lot because Yotsuba runs around all over the place. The dad is like, they joke about, they always say he doesn't have his stuff together. They're like, you got to get it together, because they moved to this new house in like a city, right? Someplace they've never been, and Yotsuba just has freedom. She just like leaves the house and walks all over town and stuff like that. And he's like, well, she does that. Like, that's her. She can go get abducted, but I don't know. Maybe they don't have to deal with that threat as much in Japan. I don't know. But that's what I thought. That was terrifying. That would terrify my parents if I left like the house for that long at that young of an age. But she never gets in like a serious like threat. It's mostly just like her trying to understand the world around her. She does a lot of really funny stuff, Yotsuba, and she'll go, like I said, she doesn't understand like common stuff. Like she has to have an air conditioner explained to her. And in the same chapter, another girl talks to her about global warming and how air conditioners are actually harming the earth. Then she flips her mindset to thinking that air conditioners are evil. And then she runs home and yells at her dad, Daddy, do we have an air conditioner? He says, yeah, we do. We didn't have one in our old house, and now we have one. Isn't this nice? And she's like, you're evil. You're ruining the world of global warming. So it's a lot of like that humor, like I don't know, just like nonsensical child humor. But it is heartwarming. You can tell her and the dad have a good relationship. You can tell there's a lot more to their backstory as to how they've gotten to where they are. I am interested to know what happened to the mom, because they don't really go into that. And I'd like to know more about the neighbor girls. You know, like a little bit about them. The middle one is this girl. One thing that weirded me out is they really like, and maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but I feel like they're going to ship the dad and this girl, and like with the age difference it feels kind of weird. I don't know. But I don't know, it just seems like, because they're like, they hang out like a lot together. I mean, granted, I know like you need that in like you need to have characters interacting in a story, but she kind of just like goes over the house a lot, and like, I don't know, it seems like it's setting up to be that, and I don't know how I feel about that exactly. Maybe it'd be alright, who cares, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it too much. But it's really about Yotsuba. She's cute, she's funny. If this, I would say if you're into something like Sweetness and Lightning, which is another one I haven't seen, but I know it seems pretty similar to this. If you like cute kid shows, or like something that like goes into the topic of like parenting or something, I think you'll definitely love this, because it's definitely about like family dynamic with like a whole lot of comedy, a lot of slice of life stuff, and like ridiculous situations. But like I said, it doesn't have a ton of like, the chapters kind of like seem like you could, once you know like who the characters are, you could probably read like chapter 5 and then read chapter 2. Like it's kind of like that. Like they're not really like a linear story, and they don't really like comment on like what happened like previously. So I mean, and but from what I think, that's, I could be wrong, but I think like Azumanga Daioh is sort of like similar in that sense. So maybe it's just this guy's like style. But yeah, I'd recommend that you check out Yotsuba. Personally, I don't think I am going to buy the rest of this. I might read it online. I'm glad that I read it, because it's definitely very different from anything that I've read before. I have not read anything like this. And Nia, thank you so much for recommending me this, because without you, I honestly don't think I would have checked it out. And I don't mean to shit on this. It's a good story, but just, you know, not my cup of tea. But it was funny, and if you guys have read Yotsuba, let me know what you think about it down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think? If you've read Azumanga Daioh, is that really good? Let me know what you think about that. If you'd like to recommend me stuff, you can check out my Patreon, or I suppose you can just keep bugging me and messages and stuff, but if you can, check out my Patreon. If you can't donate, I fully understand. And thank you guys for watching. This is Miasma, signing out.